Switzerland is set to vote on a referendum for a universal basic income. It seems like a few years ago we were reporting on this very story when enough people had signed the petition to put it as a referendum, and finally now the vote is coming up. And this is voting on whether or not Switzerland will provide a basic income to all its citizens. What do you think it's going to pass? I mean,
well, I don't know. I'm automatically thinking, would this work in America? And
in America, forget it. That would never happen.
So maybe in Switzerland, maybe in these smaller European countries, it could work.
Well, it doesn't seem to be leaning that way. The general population seems to be against the idea, although they're required to vote on this referendum, and it's a lively debate in Switzerland. The polls are indicating that it's not going to pass. And it's also vague. The wording in the referendum is not very specific about what exactly it would mean, what that basic income would mean. They sort of put it in a way that says it would guarantee the introduction of an unconditional basic income, a humane existence, and participation in public life for the whole population. But that doesn't say how much would every person get. There's been some discussion about it, and there's a general agreement that around what would it be equivalent of $2,500 is what that would be. Although in Switzerland, it's not really easy to live on $2,500.
Well, that's the whole point, right? They're not saying, here's some hand-me-outs, you sit on your ass all day and scratch your butt, don't do anything, just spend the money. That's not the point. The point is to improve your quality of life. You still got to work, you still got to do everything you got to do. Yeah. This is just like we're sharing some of the wealth. The majority of the wealth should not go to few people. It should go to everybody. Nobody is more entitled to it than other people because it's the country, right? We're all citizens. It should go equally to a lot of people. Whether or not it's realistic in bigger countries like the U.S., who knows? But
it will never happen in the United States. Never.
Never say never.
Even in Switzerland, where it's a pretty sort of open society, it doesn't seem like it has a chance there. It's a hard argument because on one side people are saying, well. If people get money automatically, there's no incentive to work and to improve their situation, just like our welfare system here. But on the other side, our welfare system here, you can't really prosper on it. You can't live on that very well. It really is a safety net.
Right.
And although some people seem to think it makes people lazy and it's just a handout, it's people who otherwise wouldn't have the opportunity because they can't make a living working full-time at McDonald's or Walmart or whatever it is. So in Europe, in Finland, they've passed this trial, which has the support of the government there. That's the difference here, is that in Finland, they passed a trial basic income that they're going to put into effect next year. The government supports the idea. In Switzerland, the government is against it, and of course, industry is against it. Although, it's a very exciting idea for a lot of people. I mean, we can dream and fantasize about the idea of like, oh, great, I'd love to get $2,500 a month from my government. Wow, isn't that just like milk and honey? Wouldn't that be fantastic? We can just run through the fields in the Alps and sing, songs from Sound of Music.
It's not going to happen. We're spending trillions of dollars on war. We don't have the money to give to our people.
It would never happen here. There would be civil war before that happened here. Not a chance.